Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 24 for July 22nd, 2012. My name's Tony and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters Jason and Mark.
Hello.
Hey, it's Sunday.
Finally, we're back on Sunday.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah. Staying with tradition, we're on, the fourth straight podcast with 4 different setups. We have some newer stuff.
New additions.
Yeah, we got some pop
It's
filters.
never going to end.
Some shot. Yeah, we
I think
continuously
I'm done.
run.
I think my setup is going to be the same for a while here. We'll see.
We just got to break your stuff, that's all.
No.
So I guess we can hop right into the weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
It was Guild Wars 2 this weekend, beta. The last one.
The beta?
The beta. So I did some serious time on there. They actually released the last 2 races, which actually ended up being the 2 coolest. The short dudes and the tree people. I'm really bad at the names. I know the tree people are the Savannas, Sylvians, but I can't remember the other ones right now. But literally, really good. I got massive time on it because I actually had this weekend off. Last 3 betas before that I did not, so I missed out a lot. If you were looking at the whole Forward Compatible Facebook page, you knew I finally got back to Trials Evolution for
Yay!
I don't know, half hour.
Trials.
Yeah. I rage quit because I was trying to do the extreme tracks and
Boo!
usually I'm pretty good at
Trials.
them, but I got stuck at one part. I don't know how it happened. Anywho, did that. Because it's a Steam sale, I bought Battle Stations today, and from the last day of the sale, I did, it's called Spaz. It's Space Pirates and Zombies. It's really good, actually. I was surprised.
Nice.
MLB again, because it's baseball season. I don't know. That's about it.
Rock on.
Tony Hawk HD Remix.
How do you like it? I tried the demo for it, and I was like, yeah.
Every single person I asked gave me that exact same response.
It's okay.
Wasn't this Robomoto again?
Yeah.
Damn it, Robomoto.
It's not bad, but again, I continued playing Tony Hawk for quite a while. The last real good one that I enjoyed was American Wasteland. And going back and not having the level of control that you had in those is really difficult. You can't revert, you can't bail, so it makes it harder again. But I mean, also too, it's lost a little bit of its luster. It's still fun. For $15, it's not bad.
All right. I was going to be like, wow, we have like 10 gaming-based companies here in Chicago, and Robomo is one of them. I was going to say, wow, they failed. But you said it's all right.
It's if you're a diehard, old-school Tony Hawk fan, you're going to buy it anyways. So it doesn't really matter how good it is because you're going to buy it. Just for the soundtrack alone. I
know what you're saying. It'd be like sometimes I go back and play like some original PS1 titles or whatever. Something like Dino Crisis, and you go back and it's just like the way that the D-pad actually wants you to control it. It's your brain's not programmed like that anymore, so it actually makes it way more difficult.
It does have a couple of cool glitches in it, where you go flying into the air when you crash. That's kind of entertaining.
Halo style sometimes.
Yeah, I think the thing that really bugged me about it is there's no 2-player split screen.
Lame.
Which the problem is, I mean, I understand, but like you could have at least left Horse in or something for people that want to like party play with their friends in the same room, like I wanted to this weekend but couldn't. So
get 4 Xboxes.
No, I don't even. No. I was gonna justify it for a second, but no, not for a $15 game. I'll just put in American Wasteland.
Rock on. As for myself, I only played a couple games this week. One of which was Saints Row 3. I've been playing that with Andy. We're doing some of the co-op missions. And the other thing, they finally talked me into giving Resident Evil 5 an honest shot. Because I played it a little bit way back in the day.
You're horrible at that game.
Didn't really dig it. Then we played it. We played through the whole campaign in like 3 days.
Andy was talking crap about you the whole time. He'd mute the microphone. He's like, this guy sucks.
He's so terrible.
He is. He's like Adam.
I had heard... And Angry Andy is up on the Himalayas right now.
Yeah, dude, he's our correspondent.
I heard he actually booted some Sherpas off the side of a mountain. So
nice.
That's hardcore.
But it was an okay game. I know it's kind of old, so I'm probably
the
not.
best part is buying the unlimited ammo cheats for it. I have it for the rocket launcher. If you want to have a fun,
the problem is
4 or 5 hour campaign, come through with me.
It's like a fucking really broken game. And
you're broken.
The story's atrocious. It really is. but it was fun, I guess, one time. I don't know if I could sit through that game again.
See, now I actually liked 5 better than 4, just because I didn't have to carry around that stupid chick with me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the chick that you had in this one, at least she was horrible. I know you did it co-op, and I did it co-op too back when I played it, but I did try some single player. And that chick,
She dumb.
yeah, in the first one she's dumb. The second one she's dumb, but she at least knows how to point a gun and shoot.
I did like the ammo situation significantly better in this one over 4. 4, you were like starved for bullets the entire game. You were literally living like box to box. And in this one, I felt like you could actually acquire a few clips in your pocket before you went into battle.
Interesting story that Tony won't personally share, but I watched some of this co-op play, and he acquired a a stun baton?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he ran up to a zombie who had an AK-47, and he tried to whack him with the stun baton and missed. And the guy just butt stocked him right in the face with it.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was.
Whatever, man. I live dangerously.
Yeah. You're like, bullets? We don't need no bullets.
I need no
I'm just going to
stinking
slap
bullets.
this guy.
I actually took out quite a few of them with guns with my stun rod thingy, whatever. So,
So is that what you call it? Your stun rod?
Yeah, my stun. Whatever. We all have pet names for it. It was it worked out. It worked out well sometimes, and it worked out terribly other times.
I wouldn't say terribly. I'd say hilariously.
I was going for that achievement, and I got it. So whatevs.
Whatevs.
But yeah, that's about that.
Yeah. By the way, we actually we have a studio audience here this week.
We do.
We should at least send a shout out to them. You probably won't hear them at all.
They're
They're all,
muzzled.
No,
they're all
yeah.
going to be very quiet.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. This is the part where if I had the skill, there would be some canned applause there. Just like
You want to
drop
just
it.
like pump in like
Yeah,
like
clapping.
just-
Like some sitcom.
No, we should pump in like just people going nuts at a like flipping
Yeah.
chairs,
Yeah.
breaking chandeliers, just glass just smashing everywhere. And
Security getting involved.
yeah, car horns honking.
Next 5 minutes is breaking up this fight that happens.
That's our studio audience.
That's how Tony's club is every Saturday night.
All right, let's hop into some news. News.
I don't want to do it.
News.
All right. So I got a few
News.
stories. I was very happy that I did find the bizarre story of the week again. I will get to that later. First things first. Xbox 360 is down 600,000 units compared to last quarter. But the good news is Xbox Gold subscriptions actually jumped 20% overall, helping out the $18 billion quarter for Microsoft.
Yeah.
4% better than last year.
I don't know if that's a real surprise, though. I mean, that they're starting to drop off with unit sales. I mean, all the hardcore gamers at this point either have a console or you're going to wait for the next one.
You're on your 4th or 5th Xbox at this point. So, yeah, most of the hardcore gamers have theirs. The thing
on my third.
The thing that boosted sales, what was it, a year or two ago, was the price drop, and we haven't
I'm on
had
my
one since.
5th.
Huh?
I'm on my 5th.
Yeah, I'm on my 4th. But
I win.
I was reading that as well. The Xbox is still for 18 straight months the best selling console.
It is, even with their diminishing sales, they're
Yeah.
still kicking ass.
Well, everybody else is diminishing as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who still buys a Wii unless your Wii broke.
Yeah,
Then you just usually need a power cord.
Yeah, but Sony, I mean, they're still selling consoles, but not like Xbox.
I was also going to bring up the point of the how much Microsoft is actually making money this year. This is actually overall, the company is 5%, or no, 4%. I just said it. 4% better than they were last year at this time. So Microsoft making money. I don't know if Sony's doing any better. Probably not Nintendo.
I
don't know.
I know related.
When Wii U comes out, it's going to help them out, but they're the only ones making money right now.
I know
sounds like.
related to that, Microsoft
term
posted
money.
their first ever quarter loss, but it wasn't because anything was doing poorly. They sold off. Crap! I probably should have looked up the name before I said this. They sold off something that they bought that was not doing very well. So they
Connect?
huh?
You wish.
So they had to get it off the books. So it made it technically, like Microsoft is selling a lot of everything.
Yeah,
But
that's what I
because-
mean.
because of that huge
overall
hit,
company
yeah.
sales are up right now.
Yeah, but because of that huge hit from just selling that one little tiny thing, I'm actually trying to look it up right now. They posted their first ever cumulative quarter loss. So, yeah.
Was that last quarter?
It was just now because all the numbers came out.
Oh,
I just felt like bringing it up because we
Oh.
were talking Microsoft money.
no, okay. Wait, so does that mean that they're supposed to be up 4% right now? Does that mean they're not up 4%?
They are. It's like weird. It's how they like word everything.
Yeah, I know it's how they word things. That's why it's confusing.
It's all bullshit. All
This
of it.
is in total like everything that like this includes like Skype and like Microsoft Office and stuff like that. This is what those numbers all were for.
Okay, here it is. It's because they had to write down. That's like the tech term of it. They had to write down a portion of their business that didn't turn out that well. See, they posted their first quarterly loss in 26 years as a public company on Thursday as it declared a struggling online ad business was bust. So they had to get rid of that, and they lost.
Oh, they lost money in this. I
mean,
get
the
that.
acquisition initially cost them $6.3 billion. So
Okay.
since they just wanted to get that off the books, they probably made $5 or $6 billion throughout Xbox and Xbox Live
Yeah.
and Windows 7 and tablets and phone sales and blah blah blah. But then you counterdo that with the 6.3 because they wanted to get this bad.
Yeah, because
move.
right now like Xbox Live subscriptions are making about $2 billion a year worth. So
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
No, that's what
No,
I'm saying.
this
So-
was all in the report I was reading up on. That's why I'm like, I don't know what this means because in my report, they were up 4% from last year in total sales of
I'm seeing it right
Microsoft
here.
the entire time. But
well, that's what I'm saying. They probably made
it's the wording of it. It's
they
weird.
probably made $5 or $6 billion, but since they had to take this $6 billion off the books, technically it was a loss, even though
they're
doing
better
fine.
than last year
because they don't have to get rid of this company every quarter. This
Yeah.
was like a one-time only thing.
Okay.
That they had to dump this company.
Okay, so there you go. That explains it a little bit better, I suppose.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Next news story. Minecraft just sold its 3 millionth copy this week, giving Notch a cool $60 million.
Yay!
Also, just because it's kind of surprising, during the week of May 14th, Minecraft actually beat out Blops for the number of players playing.
Take that, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Suck on that. Wait, Blops is still ahead of Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got more out there. My store's like I have about 25 copies of Modern Warfare 3 pre-owned. I have none of Black Ops on my store right now. Completely sold out. I've
Take
been sold
that,
out
Call of
for-
Duty.
It's been
Yeah.
selling better than Modern Warfare 3 in the last few months. So yeah, there you
Take
go.
that, Call of Duty.
That's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
suck it.
I knew Black Ops sold more copies, but I mean that
It's
like
it's better. I guess
better, more well
retention
received.
rate. Yeah. But yeah, there you go.
Also, he's getting sued.
For what? For
Notch
who?
again.
Yeah,
For
there's
what?
some East Texas crap court thing is they're suing Notch and like 15 other studios for copyright infringement. It's all a bunch of bull. It's nothing's gonna come of
Not
it.
just
No,
laughing.
hell,
Not just laughing at it.
No, that's what
said
he. That's
nothing's-
what he
yeah.
did when Bethesda, or well, ZeniMax.
This
not
is
really
a little
Bethesda, went after
worse
him.
than that. They're trying to hit him up for copyright infringement and everything, but it's a bunch of bull. It's not going to go anywhere. It was like a little.
It's someone trying to cash in.
It was a
sounds
little
like.
blurb on a website, and that's all it is. He like Tony said, he laughed it off and brushed it off.
Yeah, no,
nothing's
it's-
going to come up. It's a cash grab.
Yeah, it is. I really hope he doesn't lose anything because literally the assholes down there in Texas don't deserve the money because Notch is so nice about giving it away. Really,
Take that, Texas.
Literally, if you just go to like anything gaming related, I guarantee you, Notch is one of the biggest donators every single time. Like, give him the money because it's going to go back to people in the community.
Why? Wait, I missed some. Why are we mad at Texas?
Didn't you say East Texas?
That's where the lawsuit's coming.
Yeah,
out
that's
of,
from-
is
yeah,
East Texas.
yeah.
So we're mad at all.
Well, he didn't say
Texans?
it. No, just. Well, yeah, from right now, yeah. Those guys screwed it up for you, Texas.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our content banned just in Texas this week.
Yep. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, so those guys are trying to ruin it for
We're
him,
too
but-
forward compatible for East Texas, anyways.
Yeah.
That's right. I went there.
All right, next news story. We got yet another big company is going to be trying to cash in on the free-to-play market. Ubisoft this week came out saying that in the next gen, they're going to be expected to make a lot more free-to-play stuff because they think that's where the money is going to be at soon.
I was reading about this too. This is it's a little scary. With that, like free to play has its spot, but the problem with free to play games is they're never going to be as deep as a right like what should we call non free to play, like prepaid.
Pay to play.
Are you talking about like a monthly service, or are you talking about like a Call of Duty?
No, just like a
the
regular. Here's your $65. I own the game.
Full retail.
full retail? Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Full retail.
So when you get I don't know, the experience seems deeper. All these free to play games, because it's all like this like content lockouts, like everything's withheld because it's like you're not getting the full experience. I don't know. It's like
I get what you mean. My thing with that though is that major studios are finally going after that. A lot of the free to plays out there are those like minor studios who aren't as well versed with it as as a major company might be at this point. So I really think that their content's going to be a lot higher end compared to a free to play out now for most of them. So some free to plays are good right now, but
I actually play a free to play game.
I will be
two
soon.
of them.
Guild Wars 2.
Well,
soon.
but see, the difference is you're still paying for Guild
Well,
Wars.
yeah, but
and
they
then-
use the exact same
yes.
technique of getting you to buy money afterwards.
And Csoft, City of Heroes,
yeah.
was a full retail game with a monthly subscription before, has gone free to play. For me personally, being a high level character, it does block out some of my higher abilities and some of the content for me. But also on the flip side, for somebody who's a casual player, it's kind of nice not to have to spend the $15 every month. I just go out and buy a time card or buy 1 month whenever I feel like jumping in for a little bit and don't have to be locked in. But yet I can still log in and participate in different events that the game offers and everything. But with a major developer going free to play,
Yeah, two of them. Same thing with Crytek's doing the same thing.
I'm curious if this is more going towards like Guild Wars, where you still buy the game and then all the updates and content is free.
It's very vague on
Exactly.
the wording of it. Or you're talking about like Facebook free game,
Exactly. I mean, there's two completely.
They could be going with
spectrums you can go with.
both sides as well.
See, I guess what my concern is different than what we're addressing here. I think there's totally a spot for free to play games. I think they belong. There's a big market for it and what have you. The thing is, the developers that never mixed in free to play are starting to see that they can make a game that will purposely nickel and dime you to withhold content. And I think all the developers that will start to go that way because they see the potential to make more than the $60 they charge you, and the money would go directly to them like DLC does, where they charge you $15 and they get that $15. They don't have to pay a portion of it to Best Buy or GameStop like they do with the physical media disc, because of the shipping and the packaging and the disc manufacturer.
Well,
and what
I don't mean. I apologize for cutting you short, but isn't that kind of what they're doing now?
Yeah, I was going to say that
with
once
all of
Tony finished as well.
Capcom's on-disc DLC that you have to pay for, with Call of Duty Elite,
exactly
Battlefield. but we're already there.
No,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's going to get worse than what they're already doing. They're already doing
If
it.
they're going to charge you $50 a year to get a handful of extra maps and some BS stat tracking, it can't get much worse than that. And
Yeah.
that's where
but that's
we're at
one.
already.
That's one game. What about the developers that?
Crytek actually kind of went in depth with this a little bit better than most of the companies have so far, in saying that their content that will be releasing afterwards will all be free.
Okay, but that's Crytek, and we'll say even EA, because EA is the one that brought the stupid fucking online pass
Golden Pool Award
to the world, and Activision with their Elite. But what about the smaller developers that don't do that shit? What about like Rocksteady or like fucking?
Well, wait a minute. Rocksteady does do it.
Spicy Horse. Or
Rocksteady does do it.
Rocksteady doesn't hold back. They don't have on-disc DLC.
Sure, Catwoman.
Yeah, but that was no.
That was stupid the way they did it, because even if you bought a pre-owned
that was
copy, you
different.
still got it.
Well, that's because GameStop gave it to you, though. Rocksteady didn't give that to you. They wanted you to buy it. It's on the marketplace to be able to purchase the Catwoman DLC. A third party stepped up and gave it to you for free.
Okay, fine. Take Rocksteady out of it. What about 2K Games? What about fucking Spicy Horse?
Okay,
What
2K
about,
Games, which is Rockstar, which
no. 2K like BioShock. 2K
Okay.
like
Spicy Horse did it with the weapons pack that was on disc,
Borderlands.
They're
Borderlands
pre-order
does it.
incentives.
but afterwards it was on disc paid
Well,
for.
of course they're going to sell you the pre-order incentive later. Mm-hmm. They're not holding back parts of the game. Those are like costume packs. It's like, oh, dress with this different shirt or whatever. It's not like whole levels being withheld like they did in Kingdom of Amalur, that where they like an entire section of the game. Okay, and then like another thing I guess with it is with free to play, you can hop in and just buy your way to the top. There's ways because our correspondent kicked in all the way from Berlin, and reminded me of this that you could you can in free to play you really can. You could just jump in, buy all the best guns.
Well, that's based on which game. Like, every
That's
game isn't
very
that way.
specific.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
I've done a lot of free-to-play ones, and not all of them are that way.
But you can't, not all of them, but it's a free-to-play base mod. You can't do that in a regular $60 game. You can't just go in, spend $30 or $40,
Well, yeah.
and automatically be the best. Okay,
Yes, you can.
Battlefield did it a little bit.
Battlefield did it. Burnout did it. It gave you all the cars. There was a
Giving you all the cars doesn't make you the best fucking person online.
made
It's
me
not
the
like,
best.
I'm number one right now.
I'm talking literally like unlocking.
We got a smug look from our correspondent in Germany.
smug look.
Yes.
I don't know. To me, I guess there's a gray area where everything's starting to bleed in either way, but I don't want it to go that way. I really don't. I don't think it's good for gaming at all. If every single game goes free to play, especially because
it's not
you're
going to
going
be every single game. They're going to have specific ones with games set up that way.
And also, too, I mean, free to play, it's a very loose term for microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
that's
it
what
really
that
is.
means.
And we have most of that now in our console games.
With
For
cosmetic
instance,
changes.
like Gears of War gun packs. That's a microtransaction. That's, I mean,
That's getting your money.
so again,
afterwards.
it's just it's like the term "quote unquote" bleeding edge. Okay, it's just a fancy way of dressing up
nickel and
a
dime.
stale term.
Yep.
That's all it is. So free to play is the flavor of the month to get your,
it totally
your stuff
is.
out there and get noticed. Okay, that's all it is. I don't really think it's
and
gonna
that's why
go
so
that
many
route.
little developers use a free-to-play model,
Exactly.
because otherwise no one's going to go out and put $60 into your game
There's
or whatever
no way
they
in
charge.
hell that Call of Duty is going to go out there, or Activision, excuse me, is going to release a Call of Duty and not go with the same exact business model they already have. They're not going to transition to a free-to-play where then you buy all the little things, and they're still going to add up to the price of what the $50 subscription was anyways. I see them adding things on top of that, like here's some free content, here's a free to kind of, because it was kind of leaning the other way where it was getting too DLC heavy and people were they were adding too much DLC to it. So I think it's just kind of like a term that they're using.
Yeah. I guess for me, I mean, I get what you guys are saying. You guys did bring up a lot of good counterpoints to what I was bringing up. The one thing to me is, it seems like the developers are going to become more like, I don't know, like, instead of worrying about the game and how smoothly it plays and how it transitions,
They're worrying about putting stuff in later.
They're worrying about the money.
where can we cut, what can we cut off from this part or this development right here to make them put in that $1 or $2 to see
Yeah.
this? How can we alter the gameplay right here to make them want to do this or that or what have you? And you're wasting time and energy and development dollars and all that stuff on worrying about how to get you to put in that extra money, as opposed to worrying about the experience first and then getting your money later. I don't know. It just seems like the game's going to
Yeah, no, I
shift.
understand it.
Yeah,
I don't
that's what I'm worried
necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah.
You do have a valid concern, but I mean these are also terms and trends that have been going on for years, though
about.
too.
Yeah.
I think this is just another way of saying it, essentially.
Rock on.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. It's time for my bizarre story of the week. I've got to find one.
Yay!
All right, so it deals with the Kinect. Right now, scientists are using the Kinect to study locusts to understand how the locusts function alone and in groups. And they already had one interesting find this week. Apparently, it was an accident. But the reason, I don't know if you've actually heard it, kind of the news, a lot of the locust attacks in Western Sahara. I know our Angry Andy was there a few weeks ago reporting on this very issue. But apparently they've been kind of killing a few people, like these locust swarms. What they found using the Kinect is that the reason they actually are in swarms is not to stay together or anything like that. It's actually to stay closer together to stay away from the cannibal locusts, because apparently locusts are all cannibals, or well, some of them, a good majority of them are. That's what they found in this study, that this kind of shit happens.
Well, first off, if you see a giant e-hole open up, I'd start running anyways. Okay, I don't need a Kinect to tell me. You feel the earth rumble and everything. You see a corpser coming?
I
think what we need to solve this problem is a couple of good gears.
No, you just throw a few fucking frag grenades down the hole, and you're good.
Yeah,
They're missing the point entirely.
What are you talking about? And I mean, we already know the locusts are bastards because, I mean, they rape the berserkers. They're blind.
With the fucking lancers and...
Yeah, I mean, and they cannibalize
You're taking
every
real-world problems and putting them into Gears of War.
You were talking about a Kinect. So, wait, what are you talking about?
This is actually a real thing.
Okay, so
the only reason I'm copping out is I don't know what to contribute to this.
No, I don't know. It's just my bizarre story of the week.
It's cool. I guess
I don't know why they chose a Kinect over anything else. Like,
I know, like,
camera-wise.
why don't you just use like any other camera in the world?
What some scientists are using right now to figure out why the locusts is, like, they're trying to study locusts and see why people are dying in the Sahara.
For studies and different things, the Kinect sucks as a video game device, but it does have some pretty interesting technology and implications that
but you turn off the lights and it doesn't see
it. It's they're in the desert.
Oh, it is always lit there.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I mean, it's perfect conditions for a Kinect. They say to have plenty of space and basically like a giant white room. Well, you're in the desert.
It's almost okay.
A giant black swarm coming at you.
Yeah.
As soon as you put a couch in the middle of the desert, all of a sudden the Kinect gets confused between you and your couch.
I liked it better. I liked it better when it was the locust coming out of the ground. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's cool. That was the bizarre story of the week that came up.
You knew it was going to go towards Gears.
I didn't actually think about that, and I was like, oh, now this makes sense. All right. So final story of the week. Borderlands 2 is complete. Last developer playthrough, they clocked it in at a 58-hour campaign.
Angry Andy will have it completed in 23.
I guarantee you people will have it done before that, but I believe this was doing everything, getting everything kind of playthrough.
I'm counting in bathroom breaks and sandwiches, and he'll have it done in 23. To follow up on that, they have now said that they're going to move on to start working on the DLC and the Necromancer. I can't say it.
Necromancer.
The Necromancer.
That's the DLC character from GameStop.
Yeah, they said that they're going to start working on that, and it should be available about 90 days after launch.
Is that gonna be for everybody? Or is that gonna be like?
Well,
GameStop's getting it first, and then everyone gets it 90 days after.
No. We get it for free.
Everyone else has to pay.
Everybody else who's not a premium member, a 2K premium member, which you get by pre-ordering it, has to pay for it. So we don't get it early, but we get it for free.
Oh, okay. That's going to be cool then.
It sounds fun. I'm glad it's that. To me, I think a lot of people base their campaigns on the length, and to me that's a wrong way to look at it because I don't think games should have 4-hour Call of Duty campaigns. I think those are, as fun as they are, those are far too short.
Dude, for the price tag.
If the Dark Knight Rises was longer than the last Call of Duty, okay?
Yeah. if you don't need a Skyrim campaign to get your $60 worth. You could have a great...
But it helps.
You can have a great 8-9 hour campaigin. You could have a great 30-hour campaign. You could have a great 80-hour campaign. So them just bragging that it's 53 hours or whatever
58
doesn't 58. It doesn't mean that much. I'm sure it'll be a great game because I'm a big Borderlands fan, but that's not what's going to sell me.
Listen here, Negative Nancy. Okay.
Yeah.
Negative Nancy.
I don't even have anywhere to go other than that.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think we'll end there.
All right.
Rock on. Is that all the news for today?
Yep. That's what I got.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break here, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. ever.
Will you shut up? Shut up! Shut up!
Sorry.
The dreams of which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. What does that mean? What does it mean?
Yeah, well, it's a dream.
How about this song? Mama's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mama's little baby loves shortening bread.
And we're back. We hope you enjoyed our first ever commercial break. I think that was our first one ever, right?
Yeah.
The first one that we've included.
We've had the Jeopardy theme in there once.
So we'll hop into emails, yeah?
Yeah.
We got quite a few this week. Thank you, guys.
We got like 5.
Ask and we
All-time
shall
high score.
receive.
All right. Well, Stoked asked, what is the weirdest video game glitch you have ever seen?
I have one right off the top of my head. In World of Warcraft, way back when, playing the Horde, I'm going into Undercity, and I basically jumped at the perfect second when the elevator door opened, and I got kicked. Like, literally, my body flew up through the city, and all of a sudden, I was the entire... There's 2 continents at this point. This is vanilla. So, I was on the other continent all of a sudden in a lake with no load screen, and there was basically fish on the surface, and literally, because I was interested, I was like, "Oh, cool, this is awesome." I wrote a ticket in. I just kind of started wandering around. As I wandered around, I discovered the entire map, and I literally was going across the Barrens, which is like one of the biggest zones. But I discovered the whole map just by walking through the Barrens. Like, it told me I was in Ironforge, which is like the Alliance main city, and I was nowhere near. But I discovered the entire map that day, other than a few sections, just by this glitch, just because I walked around and it, fish trying to kill me on shore. That was the weirdest freaking thing. I don't know. I saw the screenshots actually, and then like.
Facebook.
Yeah, I should actually. A GM game master talked to me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I'm underwater, but I'm not. Also, I'm in Ironforge, but I'm really in the Barrens. When 5 minutes ago, I was in Undercity." He's like, "That's pretty weird. You should just Hearth." And that was my conversation, and it was fixed.
Nice.
You got one, sir? Or do you still need some time?
I have 2. Because I want to answer this question fully. The weirdest one I personally experienced is one. And then, of course, I've seen a lot of crazy ones on the internet. There's actually a whole...
Red Dead, everything.
Yeah, that's the one. The craziest one I've seen on Red Dead was... that's the
Horsewoman?
one I didn't personally experience. I just saw it. You could actually look it up online. There's this gunfight that's happening, and I think it's a Molotov gets thrown. And you get blown up in the air like thousands of feet. And he's just like...
Kind of like Skyrim when you get hit by a troll.
Yeah,
I thought that was a glitch at first, but it's not.
And he's sitting there like going end over end. Marston at this point, after he gets just shot with a Molotov or whatever, he's going thousands of feet in the air and he's just going end over end, and he keeps talking. And then it actually realized that it shot him up in the air. So then he started coming back down to earth, and landed on another dude and killed him. This was on the internet. Me personally, it was actually a few weeks ago. I may have seen weirder, but this is the one that pops into my head. And you guys are more than welcome to scroll back on the Facebook page. I actually posted it. What was it, about a month ago?
About a month.
Me and our correspondent were playing Gears 1.
Yes, Gears 1, because you were pushing...
Yeah, Gears 1. And literally, the car... was just in the middle of the air, just
oh yeah, no, I remember
flipping
this.
end over end, and it wouldn't stop for like
wheeling over and over.
Yeah, so I actually recorded it and put it up to the web. It's a really crazy glitch, and that was cool. That was the coolest thing I think I've seen off the top of my head personally.
All right, well mine is from City of Heroes, which I've spent countless hours.
MMO glitches.
Yeah, MMO glitches. I was also playing with our correspondent. Maybe he's the problem. We came out of a mission.
You're gonna be fired soon, it sounds like.
Came out of a mission, opened the door, and instead of opening into the world, I was in a negative zone. Essentially, it was clouds, and I was free falling, and I could see every single door, every single entrance to every mission in the world, but I couldn't get out of this negative zone. I even zoned into another area and was still stuck in this bizarro world. We loaded up a mission, which kind of fixed the problem. I could see everything, but I was outside the mission parameter. Basically, it was this long hallway, and there's like a mesh cage around it, and I was stuck outside the mesh cage, so I was going around aggroing and pissing off everything, and they couldn't attack me, and pulled them all to one corner so that Andy could then in turn complete the mission.
Yeah.
It happened a couple of times too.
That's weird.
I don't know why. I could even in City of Heroes, a GM is a giant monster. And the zone that we were in, the giant monster's name is Luska. It's a giant octopus, and that motherfucker was floating right there, and it started attacking me too. And then because Luska's usually in the water, but since we were in this negative zone, it was able to follow me wherever I went. So I couldn't get away from it. I couldn't run away.
Bring it into a major city.
No, I was trying. I was trying to pull it, but
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I was pulling it nowhere.
Yeah.
So
I had something very similar when I was jumping under Iron Forge, where stuff like that would happen, where like I'd be under the entire game world, or it'd free fall forever, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I just thought of one of those too. It actually happened this past week again with Andy. I'm starting to think he is the problem.
maybe he used to play WoW, so he might have been on the same
Oh
server.
man, were you on Illidan? You son of a bitch.
We were playing Saints Row 3, like I had mentioned earlier, and we were going after one of the sex doll packages, and it was on a bridge that you had to actually fly up
Oh
to
yeah,
with
I know
the VTOL.
exactly. Yeah.
And we
Yeah, jump off.
we like literally walked through the wall, and then the wall would close behind you, so you couldn't see the world, but you can just keep
Oh, and the skyscraper, right?
yeah, and you
I
can
have
just keep
experienced
going.
that exact same thing.
Yeah, you could just keep
They
going
never
literally
fixed it.
in and out of the building, and the wall would reseal once you walk through it, and wouldn't let you see the environment behind you until you walked back on the other side of the wall, and then it wouldn't let you see in the building again. It was really
Yeah.
fucking trippy.
Yeah, it's like what it was. I actually, because I know how they made it, it's a modular piece. One of the pieces is not lined up correctly, and it doesn't have any collisions set up with it, so you can walk through it.
And they probably didn't care because it's such a weird spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't fix that. It's not a hard fix at all. It's a simple click and drag.
You said collision, and that triggered something else in my mind. Another pretty funny one is if anybody's ever played WWE 12.
Nerd.
They made that one?
Yeah. Well, when you have more than two people and more than 4 ladders in the ring at once, shit starts flying everywhere.
Why is that a thing? 4 ladders for 2 people.
Well,
How is that
no,
necessary?
more than 2 people because there's
okay.
such a thing called Money in the Bank ladder match, which is 6 guys in the ring at once, and you can have a total of 4 ladders, and then you can.
Because there's no such thing as sharing.
No, there's not. But I'll try to recreate some of it and get it up on the YouTube. I know I'm behind on a couple videos that I promised.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get it up there and show everybody. Like literally, the ladders start like rubber banding off the ropes because the ropes have a different collision physics to them, and they'll literally like catapult the ladder all the way up the ramp. They'll slingshot you out of the ring. You're all of a sudden standing in the
sounds
crowd. It is ridiculous, and all it is just a collision issue.
There you go.
Pretty cool.
All right, what we got for next question?
Next question is from Andrew Dillon.
Nice.
Hello.
What's up, Andrew?
He asked, "What is the funniest thing to happen to you in Minecraft?"
I'll start.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't own Minecraft.
Boo.
So with my limited experience with Minecraft, since I don't own it, has been mainly at Jason's house, and I guess with me the coolest thing, even though it's kind of lame, was the fire in the sky on that one little podium you guys had built. The thing is like just it's all by its lonesome. It really has no business doing anything. It's just a floating island of fire.
It's a beacon.
And
I'll explain how I did it too, if you'd like. I went to the Nether and I gathered up a bunch of netherrack, and netherrack is flammable, and so we built a single column straight up into the air, and then proceeded to build a platform of netherrack, and then light it on fire and delete the column that we had. But literally, in my game I've got some weird things, some odd things. I've got a tree house made out of what looks like meat. I didn't build
meat
that.
house?
A meat house, but it's a tree house It's not a part of my main house, but it's kind of off to the side, a little bit of ways. Giant little house made of meat. It's actually, again, it's netherrack, but the coloration in it is kind of like ground beef. So there's literally a ground beef treehouse.
Nice.
Sounds legit.
Well, I didn't want to fall back on the story that I've told like 7 times now about me setting my
fire,
wooding
yeah.
house on fire. Another interesting thing, you can actually light animals on fire in Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to do, but sheep burn really well.
Just in case you're wondering, need some kindling.
Yeah,
Sheep are very flammable.
they are. They are. So that's my funniest thing to.
Is it the funniest thing to happen to you?
Well, the funniest thing I've already told.
Okay.
So I mean,
right,
I didn't want to fall back on that. Same
All right.
story.
So my funniest thing would definitely have to be. I only have the PC version, so we were building the one map we had. It just seemed like it was like 60% water and like then island. It was basically an island map for the most part. But the funniest thing that ever happened is we were building underground tunnels made out of glass, and this literally for some reason I was using my golden axe or a pickaxe, and it one-shots things, and I hit it, and for some reason the water didn't flow at first, and
it has like a 3-second delay.
yeah, so I'm like, oh Jesus, I didn't have any glass on me to fill it in with, so I tried to play it off like it wasn't me, because I was fresh on the server. This is like my buddies already had the first tunnel done, and I went in there and I screwed it up, and I had no materials on me other than that thing that was given me right away. So I had no materials to actually fill it in. So I just kind of ran to my buddies, and behind me was just a wall of water of this entire tunnel filling up, and my buddies going insane. Oh my God, what just happened? Who
I may
did
ask,
that? And
what mode were you on? I mean, were you gonna then drown and die?
Yeah, we would have. We did eventually
Fight
fill
your
it
way-
up,
fight your way
but
back?
yeah, because you have to fight upstream. But this, I mean, it was a pretty massive thing. I mean, like it was. I don't know, probably take you a good minute to actually cross because it was like a
Yeah, and I mean you have limited air then.
So I basically sunk the first tunnel in the first seconds of playing on this map. So that was probably my funniest moment of just hearing my friends' reactions to me flooding their tunnel.
Andy had he had like a little underground fortress, and he had a natural waterfall, and we were going down his tunnel, and I look over, and in the waterfall was an octopus. He was going nowhere. He was
He's just
stuck there, and we just left him. I think he's still there.
He probably is.
He's still there.
You never know.
Just
He's
doing
just
his
like, I hate
chilling.
my life.
Just
doing his octopus thing.
stuck in a single square of downflowing water. Nowhere to go.
Just kind of
Yeah.
just
Kinda
octopusing around.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have more to contribute to this section. I
that's
don't know.
cool.
I don't know. I've only played it for less than an hour.
Well, maybe that's a hint. All right. Next question. Gage Dale asked, "What is the hardest fan-made challenge in a video game?"
For me personally, I know a lot of people. It was big back in the day. Still is actually. The zombie mode from World at War / Black Ops. I got really into it. Still am, but more so in the World at War aspect. I didn't like Black Ops as much because it ran off a different engine. But that's besides the point. When people were starting to get really far, they were looking for these fan-made challenges, and quite a few came up, and I liked a bunch of them. My favorite one was to see how far you can get without using the mystery box. And for those of you who have never played, there's a few ways to upgrade your guns. You can either purchase them off the wall, but that's going to limit you to more basic guns. To get some of the better guns to help you progress further in that horde style, you'd have to go to the mystery box and gamble. and then you could get like power weapons. So once people start getting further and further and further using the power weapons, they would limit you to only what you could buy off of the wall, which made it significantly harder to advance anywhere in the game because you're stuck with basic Thompsons and MP40s as your strongest weaponry. And the zombies will get harder and harder and harder every wave, and you're stuck with crap guns that hold virtually no ammunition. It gets quite difficult after a while.
Yeah.
So, and you have to get new and inventive ways to stay alive by using barriers and barricades and using a lot of grenades and bouncing betties and whatnot because you're very limited on what you could use. So, yeah.
I think, I've kind of got two, but one of my favorite ones from when I was younger was the Resident Evil 1 speed run. I believe it was if you could finish it in an hour and a half, and it's, you only use, like, your default gun. You don't pick up anything else. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I know one or two friends that were able to do it, but that was definitely some major bragging rights at school. Their speed run through Resident Evil 1. I know they did another one where it was just using trying just to use the knife.
Yeah.
And one of the hardest parts was fighting Yawn the snake and knifing the snake to death.
Yeah.
With exception of the rocket launcher on Tyrant at the end. I hope that's not a spoiler for anybody because that game's like 20 years old
Fucking
now.
old.
Yeah. The other one for me is in City of Heroes. There's a kind of a community challenge, and the best way to test a build of your character is it's a two-parter. It's called the Warzone Challenge. The best way to test your damage output is there's these things that surround an alien mothership, and there's pylons around them that you have to take down in order to drop the shield on the mothership. Well, it's seeing if you can solo these pylons and actually drop all the pylons because they have a timer on them. How many you can... It's just one? It's
Our correspondents chiming
just
in.
one?
Yeah, just how fast you can drop one.
How fast you can drop one? Okay. And then the second half of the challenge, in the farthest corner from the door to like the map, there spawns a mob of level 54. The highest level you can be in City of Heroes at the time was 50. Now there's modifiers that change that, but you would go there with your level 50 character, use no temp powers, and see how difficult it was to drop these like top level high end mobs if you could withstand the damage and fight them off. And I know there were some record times put on there, like 3 minutes,
Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's pretty impressive.
I think my time came in at about 6. Yeah.
I actually thought of another one mid thing too. I don't know if you're ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say my favorite one's got to be a lot of the Halo horse.
Yeah.
Halo horses are good.
Can you elaborate for me?
Well, if
Not-
you've never
not
done
familiar.
Halo, the maps, they're all community-made maps, and basically most of them are just finish it. There's, hit this object, just get to the end. I mean, there's a ton of different ones, and there's a huge variety because it's using the Forge mode. So, like, all of them are just usually really hard, and they'll take you 10, 15 minutes to even beat some of them.
Cool. I was unaware.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Halo, wasn't Griffball initially like...
Yeah, Griffball was a community
Totally,
game
it was- yeah.
mode that turned popular.
There was
Yeah, it
something
got
similar in that in City of Heroes.
It got so popular that Bungie put it into Reach then.
Yeah,
So
it took them long
that's an
enough because
official
I
thing.
hated waiting on the Halo 3 because it would be like they put in a game mode a week or whatever, or like, and then take it out, cycle it over. So I was very happy that it's in there permanently now because that would be when I would play in a month usually.
The other one I was reminded of, now that we were talking about scores and whatnot, is that recent... I know they're doing it with other games too, but the original was the original Super Mario Brothers, where there's this like new movement on YouTube to get the absolute lowest score possible, where it's actually like a work of art, because I'm not very good at it. Watching these guys go through the level, purposely avoiding every single coin, purposely avoiding... getting the mushroom to grow up, purposely avoiding every enemy, just hopping over everything, missing the warps, and then dropping down and jumping on the lowest part of the flagpole, because that's the only part you cannot avoid gaining points.
Yeah, you gotta finish.
And just watching them do it, they make it almost masterful, where it looks beautiful when they're doing it, because they're not like stuttering or stopping to make sure that they time the jump perfectly. They're like running through the level as fast as they can while missing everything. It's
Have
really
you
kind of
seen,
cool.
the Super Mario Frustration?
Fuck you, blooper.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a huge community challenge just to even beat one level. I don't know if you ever checked out. Someone basically
I haven't.
someone basically made their own Mario game and made it hard as shit.
Yeah.
Literally, there's a video he just quoted it that I don't know how many millions of views it has.
There's
but
literally like a blooper floating through the middle of the map, and he's like, "What are you doing here? Fuck you, blooper."
yeah, it's just a Super Mario Frustration. There's a ton of videos of people. It's just a super hard platformer.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those where there's invisible blocks that the only way you'll know how to actually beat the level is by failing 150 times. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to like find it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotcha.
and it's ridiculous. So that one's a good video to watch if you're bored on YouTube.
Interesting. That kind of sort of segues into our next question a little bit. It's going back on when we were talking about the emulators and everything a little bit last week. Nick on Facebook asked, "What classic video game would you like to see appear on a system?"
NHL PA 93. So good. Only console game with blood and hockey.
There's quite
count Super
there's
Mutant, whatever.
quite a few for me. As big of an original NES fan as I am, and as much respect as I have for that console, because it's pretty much what got that and the Atari 2600 got me into gaming in the first place. Probably my all-time favorite console is the Sega Genesis. That era, the 16-bit era, was just that. Virtually anything from that era, I would love ported over. And the problem with it, when they're starting to make these, even when they did it with like the Ninja Turtles arcade game, which I know is 8-bit, but when they're bringing them onto the Xbox, as nice as they're making them look, they never feel the same. They don't play the same. And what happened was, like, even with Earthworm Jim, I bought the HD remake on Xbox Live a summer or two ago.
We need to play that sometime because I have it also.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. We should. The thing is, they have this thing. It's called, like, I forget how they word it. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. It's like it'll be like easy, normal, hard, and then like they call it like original mode, because they're saying that the 16-bit version was way harder than even the hardest mode on Xbox. And the fact of the matter is that's not true. When I popped in, because I'm like, oh, let me try it on original mode, it's like stupid hard on Xbox, and it's not that hard on Genesis. It's like wrong. I'm wording this terribly.
No, I get where you're going with it.
The thing is,
it doesn't
The
feel
difficulty didn't scale well.
I would like the Earthworm Jim done correctly, I guess. It's still good, and I enjoyed the HD remake and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But I bring Earthworm Jim up a lot because it really is one of my all-time favorite series. And it wasn't as good of a job as they did. It's not the same. So the emulator was poorly done, even though they upgraded it. And they did make it look nice and what have you. I'd like to see the first two brought over correctly. That's the emulator I would like.
I know I've kind of touched based on it before, but considering that all these classic consoles and like Sega and everything, they're now starting to support mobile devices and tablets and everything, I'd really like to, it'll never ever happen, but I'd really like to see Nintendo jump on board and support a little bit outside of just their handhelds. I think a Mario game on my iPad for $1, even in the original, even with would sell so well. It would, something like that would destroy Angry Birds. The original Legend of Zelda on Android on a tablet would destroy everything else that's out there.
Yeah, I definitely think.
And I think they're missing a lot of
that.
they're missing a lot of money there. A
Actually,
lot of money.
We actually will get a hint of that to come. Nintendo's usually late to the party with outside thinking.
Yeah.
The guys that are actually,
Do you think?
that are actually doing what you're talking about right now is Sony. They're making huge strides with Android and all these other things. They're actually going to start officially licensing products for use with PlayStation that aren't manufactured by Sony. They're
Nice.
starting to make cell phones and all these things that are gonna actually let you play the old Final Fantasies from PS1 and the old Crash Bandicoots. They're actually the first ones that are going to allow, like, whatever, Samsung to allow Sony, official Sony games on their
Nice.
devices. So we'll actually see how this will pan out.
And I know Microsoft does it a little bit, and that's kind of the direction that the smart glass seems to be going a little bit.
Yeah.
They have a couple things on the App Store, and I know they're playing catch up on Android. But as stupid as it sounds, you can pretty much buy a full version of Connectimals and play it on your iPad.
Yeah.
But I think I'd really, really like to see Nintendo get on board with something like that. That would be phenomenal. Regardless of whether it's Android or Apple or whoever it is, I think they're kind of missing the boat on this, because I traded in my DSi the day that I bought my iPhone because I didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the honest to God truth. I love Nintendo. I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy, but I didn't need it anymore.
Well, the thing is, like I said, I think Sony's first to the party. I think Microsoft will soon follow.
They're dabbling. They're testing.
I'm talking more
yeah.
like, well, Sony's like literally going to put like Jack and Daxter on a
Sony
fucking...
Sony has the library for that.
Yeah.
Too.
I think Xbox will follow suit just so Sony doesn't have that big foothold
Yeah,
over
I
them.
mean, if anybody, the leading forefront right now is Sega and Capcom.
Yeah.
Because you see all of their stuff on there.
But Nintendo, I wouldn't doubt them not experiencing this for 6 or 7. Keep in mind, with the upcoming Wii U, they're finally acknowledging online play.
Yeah. I mean,
That's how behind the curve they are. So
Well, I mean, they had it for the handhelds.
and here's
Barely.
here's my
Not like you would get on a console, you're right, but
here's
you know,
my
there's still
prime
something.
example. That bogus Pokemon Yellow game that went up on the App Store for like a week.
Yeah, everyone bought it.
How much money did that make?
I don't even know. A lot.
It was like number
was
2 download.
It was number one at one point too.
Yeah, and it cost $1.
It was fake.
Exactly.
Didn't
And
even
so now,
work.
could you imagine if Nintendo said, "All right, we're going to put up Pokemon Yellow for real, and we're going to charge $7 for it." People will buy it. People will buy it. I'd buy that.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
A lot of interesting possibilities.
We
Yeah.
got one last question, and it's kind of bringing all of our questions full circle. It's from Magnus. He asked, "What is the oddest video game Easter egg and or achievement / trophy you've ever seen?"
Okay, Easter egg. Okay.
I'd probably have to give Easter egg to something about Halo, the Reach nightclub dance party. I'd have to say that's
That
probably
is
the weirdest
pretty cool.
one.
I know that like the Lego games have a ton, obviously.
I know I can tie it all in with an Easter egg that actually led into an achievement.
Go for it.
Okay, I was actually doing this with our correspondent as well. I was completely unaware that this thing even existed. He totally showed me about it and walked us through it. It's with Gears 3. There's this area during Horde mode where you have to run around and shoot 4 gutters?
Yeah.
You have to run and shoot 4 specific spots of 4 gutters throughout the map. And what that will do is will allow you to get the Hammer of Dawn then. And then you have to use
to-
the Hammer of Dawn over a lava pit.
To raise up.
Yeah,
the
to
ground.
then raise these 4 specific or 3 or 4 specific boulders out of the lava pit, which will then allow you to cross the lava pit to access a specific emulsion cleaver. You then take the cleaver to then go kill 20 people-ish, 30 people-ish, and that will in turn unlock an achievement.
Gears 3 has a ton of awesome ones. They don't turn into achievements, but there's a ton of really cool ones. Like the Cluck Shot is awesome. The Cluck Shot achievement, or not achievement, Easter egg. There's the one for the gold, and then there's the gold chicken that comes out of the pipes. But my all-time favorite one, if you Yeah, it's a multiplayer map. I don't remember the name of it. It's the one with the ash people on it,
Okay.
and you're playing versus mode. If you don't break any of the ash people,
Gridlock?
I think it's Gridlock.
Yeah, I
I
think
had
so.
that
You don't break any of the ash.
been all
people
3 of 'em, so.
Well, doing the first round. Round 2 will start off playing Mad World.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That actually happened by mistake. One of my games, I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that was my favorite Easter egg.
Yeah, if you don't hit any of them, they reward you. It's cool.
As far as achievements go, I honestly I've had so many weird, bizarre achievements pop at weird times. I can't think of any specific one other than pushing start on Simpsons, which we've brought up several times.
Yeah. All right, rock on. We got any other ones?
No, that's it. Thanks
I mean,
for all
there's tons of them. Like,
Oh yeah, just which ones were funnier to you or whatever.
the ones that led into achievements, or just like.
just Easter eggs. In
Just
general.
just what made you laugh? You know.
Well, I
kinda
know. I remember. I hate to talk about it twice in one episode, but like I said, I'm a big zombie horde mode fan from.
God, that's all he talks about is Call of
Jesus,
Duty.
God, Call of
He
Duty.
Jesus.
supports Activision.
Such a bro gamer. Gosh.
Gosh.
I think it was Modern Warfare 2. During the whole, when people didn't know if they were going to return to zombies in Black Ops, there was a lot of speculation going on the internet. And I remember on one specific map in Modern Warfare 2, if you did this crazy jump, I can't remember which multiplayer map it was, you had to do this crazy jump to like this rooftop that was basically off the map. And the only thing on top of the map was the a couple teddy bears and scattered empty soda cans, which if you play the horde mode maps from World at War, you knew that those were the power-ups, the Juggernaut and Speed Cola and Quick Revive and what have you. And the teddy bears alluded to of course the mystery box where you got the different games. And it was basic. It was confirmation that it was coming without straight up coming out and confirming it. It's kind of like a tease.
There's 2 more that popped in my head, and I do apologize. But achievement, Borderlands. It's the I'm on a boat achievement.
Were you just gotta run off to find the random boat?
Yeah, but then there's also something that you can do over there to get something else to pop up, where you shoot the barrels in a specific order. So you got the achievement, which then in turn led to an Easter egg. I don't remember exactly what it is, but and I don't know why I didn't think of it before. My all-time favorite Easter egg is in Super Mario RPG. Back on the Super Nintendo, you're walking through a portion of it, and then this little green guy in a tunic runs by, stops, looks at you, and then continues running. It was awesome.
Just because you said the bottles thing, it brought up Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. In the tutorial level, if you shoot random bottles that are placed in a specific order, you actually get a squad of explosive sheep to attack the Germans, and they just run up and explode like grenades.
Nice. There is no cow level.
There is no cow level. So yeah, there you go.
Sweet. Well, that's all our questions for the week. Thanks again for everybody who sent in.
Made up for the lack of no rumors this week, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
screw
nothing
rumors.
really worth debating this week.
No.
There wasn't. There was.
So
And I
made
looked.
up by a ton of questions, so thanks for that.
Thank you. You know what that means, sir?
Is it that time?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's
Is it that time?
it's that third segment
I
that
think
we
so.
usually
The
do.
most special time of the week.
Yeah.
That
reason I
Tony's
get up on Sunday mornings.
special
Tony.
topic.
Tony's topic of the week. Let's do it. All right.
That's where you need a sponsor right there. Brought to you by.
Brought to you, but no, I don't know.
Brought to you by Tony.
I don't even know where to go with it.
You got time.
Well, no. This week, the major story that came up is EA had an ongoing, I guess for the past roughly 4 years.
Yep.
They've had this ongoing lawsuit against them, and it culminated in them 2 or 3 days ago. The news broke.
Yeah, I think 2 days ago, 3 days ago,
It
whatever.
culminated in them having to pay $27 million in fines because of basically the licensing fees. How pretty much how they have a stranglehold on the industry.
They were determined to be a monopoly.
Yeah. The stranglehold that they have on all of the
Football.
NFL, NCAA,
AFL.
They have it on all. You guys know how it is that they're the only ones that are allowed to have the official team names.
Yeah.
They're the only ones allowed to have the official names on the back of the jerseys. They're the only officially licensed products. They even have it with the PGA and with Tiger Woods. They have it with all. But this one had to deal with American football right now. So that's the basic rundown of it. Without getting, as we do every week, without getting too far into it, what do you guys think? Some initial thoughts, and then we'll hit some bullet points.
They finally got boned by taking ESPN games down. Took a long time though.
I think it's pretty damn cool that somebody, I mean, I know this has been going on for a while, but that finally somebody kind of bitch slapped EA.
Exactly.
And that I've always been a firm believer that the only way that you're going to make a great product is with great competition.
And EA completely took that out.
Yeah, and by taking out your competition, you're making a very stale product.
Yeah, I completely agree with this.
Yeah,
their games, literally look at the reviews year to year. They have never been anything stellar, with the exception of the NHL series has had a lot of 9s lately, and the FIFA series. Everything else has been quite low.
But to be fair, there is another soccer game, and there is another hockey game.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a hockey game in a few years. They don't have exclusive rights, but
I mean,
2K gave up on it.
Yeah, but I mean, those were two franchises that they didn't have a stranglehold on.
Yeah, because then they have Pro Evolution Soccer, and if I'm missing any one, I don't think UEFA's came out with the game in a long time because they actually ended up partnering with EA. So,
with what you were saying, actually, the last really, really highly rated Madden game was in 2005, which was the last year. From 2K, because it's exactly what you were saying. Without the competition, as soon as they buried 2K, they had no reason. There was no push. There was no There's no reason
drive
to push your team to make the best possible game. And since 2005, when was the last year that they actually had competition, it's just been completely downhill for all of them.
they've just been making minor adjustments every year to say it's a new game and give a roster update. Yeah. And that's what the complaint of Madden has been for so long at this point. Same thing with NCAA as well, because NCAA is always 1 year behind as well.
And see, I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but I kind of feel I'm a wrestling fan and I play the wrestling games, and I feel the same way because there's no other real competition in the wrestling field. I mean, you get the what came out last year? AAA Lucha Libre Heroes, whatever that crap was.
I mean, UFC, I guess you would say, is in a different league, different style, yeah.
And then after that was the Rumble Roses game.
That one outsold them.
Yeah, but I mean, and the reason that there's no competition there is a little. Well, there's the TNA game, but that thing sucked.
Yeah, Rumble Roses, that one had the good boob physics.
Yeah, but. When there's no competition, there's no real great advances in the technology that they're using, and no real pushes to try to improve on what they've got.
It seems when you're talking wrestling games, they almost provide their own competition within WWE. You start having your yearly SmackDown versus Raw, your yearly iterations. Then you have these sub games, these legends and these what's that really cartoony one that they came up with?
All Stars?
Yeah. All Stars, yeah. And it's still all officially licensed and still but they almost create their own.
Yeah, because nobody else is taking advantage of it at all.
Yeah. Real quick before we get too deep into it, I kind of wanted to get the numbers out of the way. I'm just going to read a quick paragraph. Since they lost, under the new terms, anyone that bought an NFL Madden, an NCAA football, or arena football product from January 1st, 2005 forward is eligible for a portion of the settlement. You get $6.79 for if you purchased it on the PS2, PC, original Xbox, or GameCube.
See, I had read a different article that went it basically was all systems from 2005 up.
No, because then The newer ones, okay, wait, this is assuming that it was for the purposes of this settlement. The PC is considered a last generation platform.
Yeah, take that PC.
Now,
Oh, who worded that? I'm gonna kick some ass here.
then you get $1.95 per title you purchased for the 360, PS3, or Wii. And if you've bought all 8 titles in each group, you're capped. They're going to cap you at $15.60, even though it's far more than that. So the absolute most you can get from EA is less than $16 had you had purchased every iteration of every game from 05 to present day.
That's why you just give your receipts to other people
Yeah.
if you still have them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I was
they're going to
saying,
want proof of purchase.
Yeah. That's why you're gonna have 2005 for your Madden.
And I want to take a moment to say that Forward Compatible does not condone any activities like that.
Yeah. We do not condone, wink, wink,
Yeah.
handing out your receipts to your friends to get maximum
Yeah.
of the $15.60.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
the
just
only
wanted to
thing
get
with
that
it.
out.
I've heard 2 different like things that if it was like the AFL, you like in one of the articles I read, it was if you had bought the AFL game, you got like the $2 back. But then if you did any Madden or NCAA, you got like the $7 back per game. That's in another article I read. I don't know. It's been miscommunicated already on a few different sites.
The basic
But,
point
yeah, basic
is
thing,
you're
yeah.
not getting shit back.
Basically,
Yeah.
I think the reason that is, though, is because it's actually sold that many copies that you have. Because, I mean, it's a very set price. So if every single person does it, then EA isn't paying out of pocket. They're doing it where it's about right if you bought. Basically, if everyone actually has those receipts, I think that's how they equal it out to the $27 million. And then the $6.79.
I still think it's kind of cool that, I mean, you are theoretically talking about getting money back for a video game that you bought, so something that you were interested in and purchased. I get that you didn't have an option B if you wanted to play a football game, but I mean,
You had Backbreaker.
so yeah, like I said, you didn't really have an option B, so you bought Madden. Regardless, you're getting some money back for it. It's not a lot. You're not going to get your full money back, but it's factors out to like for a PS2 game, they said what, $6?
Yeah,
Right?
about
It's
$6.
like-
Almost $7.
It's like 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, this is like a drop in the bucket for EA. Maximum, they have to pay $27 million.
Are they just losing it no matter what, or
People have to actually claim this, but there's going to be lawyer fees. They have to pay for their own defense counsel as well as the prosecution.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well. So it's less than that because that means they have to pay off 4 years worth of actual.
Well,
court.
probably roughly half is going straight to the lawyers. They're the only real winners out of this. The people
They
aren't
always
really
are.
going to get their money back. I mean, you got to figure 99% of the people, this is going to be unheard of. Nobody's going to claim.
No.
I have some of these Madden titles. I'm not going to go after EA for like $6. It's not.
It's not. My stamp
Yeah, I'm
isn't
not.
worth it.
I'm not by any means like loaded, but I'm comfortable enough in my life where I'm not concerned over $6,
Yeah, me either.
where it's not worth my time and effort to try to look up receipts.
Give me a gift card to Chipotle for
Yeah.
$6. I'll be happy. Then I'd go after your ass.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
That's like
relentless.
That's like one taco.
oh, I'd be relentless
Or
though.
like what? Even if they like, I think I still have 90% of this crap at my house. So even if like taking a picture of the cover art with the disc would somehow.
Yeah,
Don't even put that idea, man, because I've still got friends that work within the industry, and I'll just take pictures of all their stuff.
Yeah.
Dick pics.
Dick pics.
There it is.
His name's John.
No, well, if there was obviously there'd have to be some kind of like a calendar next to it or something, and I don't
Because
even know how you.
when I
Yeah,
bought Madden back 7 years ago, I said, you know what, I want to document this occasion. Let me grab
This
a
is-
calendar
that's
in my
so
game.
great.
No.
Look at the Marshall Falk cover.
A calendar present day that you're taking the picture that you still own the stuff. You fucking dick. No, because honestly, who the hell has? I don't have a video game receipt from what I bought 2 weeks ago, let alone from
I have
some
one.
shit I bought in 2005. Who the hell died?
Yeah, that's going way too far.
That's
back.
asinine.
I've
There's
got
got to be
video
another.
game- I've got video game receipts.
There's got to be another way to
One
verify.
receipt
the
I've ever had was probably 2 years for a computer.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I think I've got mine for my consoles.
There's got to be another way to verify the fact that you did in fact purchase this back in 2005
Yeah.
other than a receipt. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have to have some other way.
Shut up, man. I liked my idea.
That's what we'll have to
Yeah.
look into how you can actually, get it back. We should do that for next week.
Well, yeah, this just broke like a day or two.
Yeah.
I think you just made yourself a job.
I'm busy this week. Tony, take over.
I'm busy. If anybody's busy, I'm
I
busy.
said
this
Tony.
week. I'm just saying.
Go to you.
Yeah, I don't work 3 jobs.
Yeah.
5.
That's not
Good.
me.
I have just 2 days off this week. I don't have enough time for that.
I gotta play video games.
I gotta play video games for you guys. These
All
4-day work weeks
All
are
right.
killing.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to kind of bring up with all this is, I guess, the rise or the potential rise of opposing studios. I mean, if there was ever a time that something could open the door, so to speak, for your THQs and your Activisions, the companies that financially can at least,
I don't know about THQ when you say financially.
yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. I guess some of the bigger companies, is this their opportunity to come in and actually combat EA?
I don't want an
EA
Activision sports game, like an Activision football.
Literally, EA's been shooting themselves in the foot for years now with this kind of thing. So I really don't think someone's going to step up and try and do it again with NFL. NCAA football doesn't sell very well. That's why no one's made it since 2002. There's like even after they bought the rights to it, no one made a game to NCAA because it just doesn't sell well. AFL, same thing, even smaller market than NCAA. Like you're gonna get another NFL game out of this because there's gonna be a 5-year period between 2014 when the EA contract ends to 2019 until they can actually buy it again, where someone can pick up a game.
Yeah. Why do you not want a Activision sport game?
I don't want Activision first-person shooter either. Just again, I think
Anti-Activision?
a little bit.
Hater.
I liked when they did their alternative
Hawk?
stuff. Yeah, but I don't know. I again with the way that Activision and EA have been going like neck and neck, and basically just copying each other, we're just gonna get a copy of Madden. Essentially, that's how I feel. It would be like a
Madden clone?
Madden clone. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have to, like, whoever decides to make this will have to make it somewhat special because, some people are going to buy it out of hate for Madden over, 2 decades, 20 years now? And then you're going to have some people who they're already so stuck to Madden that it's going to be like the Battlefield to the Call of Duty.
I'd be okay with, like, 2K jumping back in.
Yeah, they made good shit.
Well,
Their game was better than Madden.
Yeah.
You know-
And I mean, I'm not a football fan,
And then
but I played
they made
2K.
their game $20 on launch. And what did EA do?
They had to drop it to 30 for that.
They had to drop
one
it for 30, and they still couldn't do it.
year. You know what would be interesting?
They got their ass kicked. I loved it. EA on their heels back in the day.
And
By-
what-
that
by
was
the way,
great.
What game is he playing in
Vanquish.
Russia?
Oh, he's playing Vanquish.
Just Vanquish?
Yeah, it's a good
Yes.
game. You should play it. It's
Uh,
Gears of War in the future.
I shouldn't play it. I should just play Gears of War because Gears of War is kind of in the future.
And America.
It's not America.
Well, made by America.
What would be interesting, and they're struggling anyway right now, and they used to kick a lot of ass at this back in the day.
Yeah, like when Battlefield 1942 is out, best
would-
shooter ever.
Would be if Sega came back and just went.
You just want Sega back
No, no,
every
no, no,
week.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
Sega makes their own console.
If they went heads up with their sporting division.
Well, yeah, because technically they were. What was it? They were being
They were
publisher.
2K Sports. They
Where's
were,
Yeah.
989 Studios when you need
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
If they
so, I mean,
came-
yeah, they
if-
technically were part of the ESPN.
they have
stuffs.
they have nothing. Sega has nothing right now, where they could just
They
go.
just closed a bunch of studios. That's why I don't think that'll happen. Just because Sega's struggling to survive right now.
No, I know. I didn't
they're
say
in
it was
survival
going to
mode, just
happen.
like THQ is.
I said this would be a great opportunity for them
For
to
them.
something because
I think that's such a risk for them right now. I don't know if they could take the hit because I guarantee you they'd have to basically start from scratch because you can't go on 7-year-old engines and tech and stuff.
Obviously
which
not.
would I know they have that somewhere, but you'd have to start from scratch at this
But
point.
Sega's some of the maybe not lately, but throughout the course of history, they employed some of the most forward-thinking people in the industry.
Well,
And they've always done that. Sometimes it was too
Not by
forward.
Sega.
sometimes it was too forward thinking for their own good, and they came out with stuff a little too early. But it ended up burning them in the end. But I don't know. I think if there's someone that could do it, it'd be them. But like you said, they probably don't have the
resources right now
to do it. But if they
But, you know, not many companies do have resources to go out there. I mean, you have a few biggies, and that's it.
Aside from that, I mean, here's another thing that you kind of brought up earlier was that whole Madden thing where for the last 20 years or so, you have these people that are, I guess they're buying Madden blindly every year, right? So does
Seeing what little add-on they added each year, yeah.
yeah. So you have this blind following, and I guess if another company was to come up and they tried to start this, does it even make a difference, or is it an uphill battle at this point because there's only been one version for this entire time? I guess can another company even gain a foothold? Can it gain say there's only those 5 or 10 million copies? What does Madden sell here? Less than 10 million.
I'm not even sure.
Just for numbers sake, let's say they sell 10 million copies a year, okay? And if a new game comes out, is there even enough room, or are 9.5 million just going to buy Madden regardless, just because they have no faith in the other guy? Is that even if a better game comes out than Madden, would they even sell enough copies to have it make a difference?
Probably
or is this
not.
Too little, too late? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I actually agree. It's
I think
probably too little, too late.
I would have to say the only way this is possible is if they put 2K in the name, because then I'm pretty sure 2K would be the only one who would be interested in actually picking this up at this point, and they have the name backing behind it right away.
You could build up some nostalgia from gamers like us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Aside from that, I mean, I guess we could kind of wrap it up and see what you guys have any final thoughts on everything. I mean, I don't have too much more to bring into the whole thing.
No, that's cool. Literally, somebody will step up in this 5-year gap, and I'm hoping this all comes about where nobody is doing this stupid licensing monopoly. I hope this is kind of like a, don't do this because this was your stupid decision back in 2005. Because I don't believe, we talked about the competition that comes out of having no exclusive rights to the game. And I think it's just going to be good for gamers, this whole thing, that will allow better sports titles to come out each year.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm not really a big sports gamer.
I just got my NHL every year. That's it.
But I totally agree. Every August, it's all about Madden, and I'm so fed up with that it's in the same boat that I'm in with Call of Duty and everything. It's just like I want something new. I want something that's going to be different.
So we have NBA Live coming back this year. Hopefully they don't pull it the week it's in stores last year.
I do like 2K better though.
That's the thing. The reason NBA Elite, as it was called last year, is back to live because they had no sales. Like they just made an entire game and then didn't release it because they were just going to lose money. And I guess this way
Jordan's
saved
the
them a
reason
little
because
bit.
of that. But
I'm sure that
but like I was saying, on the flip side, I do think it probably too little, too late to try to fix this. Maybe 10 years from now, I could see somebody stepping up, but I mean, to try to establish a franchise in less than half a decade is kind of insane. You pretty much have one shot.
And that's why I think 2K is the only ones who could do it.
As for me, this whole thing's kind of weird. I guess I look at it different than most people. To me, I kind of relate it to like Darwinism and survival of the fittest, and I agree that the competition was great and everything, but other developers had their chance, and I think everybody's looking at EA a little too evilly in this particular thing.
Well, they are the
EA,
2012 Golden Pool winner,
for the worst company to work for.
Yeah.
But EA, what they did was they had a successful business model that allowed them to acquire enough money that they could throw this these bags full of money at the NFL. Who don't
Shut up and
forget
take my money.
don't forget the NFL did accept this, that they would be, that EA had exclusive rights to the guys' names on the particular team. Like, it's not just this one. It's a deeper issue than what we're making it look like. And EA, through their successful business model, was able to,
Every sports game
build
does this.
to build these contracts with the particular, whether it be the NBA or the NHL or NFL,
WWE.
or what have you. EA is the one who did it. These other guys, 2K had their chance. 2K could have did this exact same thing back in the day had they thought of it. EA is the one that
They were the company. They were like for gamers so much by putting that that $20 price tag on it, though.
Yeah.
Like they weren't making as much as as a result, and we're still making the better stuff though.
Yeah. But at the same time, for me, I see the other side where it's bad for progress, and when you leave, when you're having a one-horse race the entire time, the game is not going to evolve very much. You're going to get these yearly iterations.
Yeah.
You're going to get these yearly iterations of the same old, year in and year out, and it kind of becomes really stale. And that's the problem when you're seeing with Madden right now is every year they're actually selling less and less copies than the year before because people are getting tired of the non-innovation within it. So, I mean, they're almost writing their own death certificate by not advancing the game. So, I mean, but it's their industry to screw up because, like I said earlier, they're kind of the ones that made themselves the one horse. It's all, I don't know.
No, I get it. It's their fault that this is, I guess, even an issue. I guess.
Yeah. But they shouldn't be penalized for running.
If they
this,
were the better NFL game back in 2008 when this lawsuit got filed, like when 2K5, if they were making the better stuff, I doubt this would even have came up.
Yeah.
Because this, if I remember, because I was actually, I don't know, I was familiar with the story when it came out, and it sounded like this started off a lot because gamers were pissed off and it ended up going into a lawsuit. So if Madden was the better game back then, they probably wouldn't even have had to worry about this right now.
Yeah, it clearly was not the better game. It was
No, it wasn't.
it was a matter of money, and that's what it ultimately came down to. But like I said, I mean, it takes two to tango. The NFL okayed this.
Yeah.
You can't buy the rights to the NFL without the NFL's consent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the NFL wanted it to be a fair market, there was another way for the NFL to play it and have 2 or 3 or 4 guys have the rights to the names.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they'd be
Spread out the little money.
They'd be acquiring money from different developers, from EA and Activision and THQ, who all had their own football game fighting for NFL supremacy.
Oh, yeah.
But the NFL kind of made their own bed by allowing just one big lump sum to come in at one time, and then that's what they had to rely on.
Back then, it was sports haven. Like, I don't know, sports seemed to drop off a little bit in terms of how big they were back 2005 or so. So I think that's also resulted in, I don't know, a lack of. I'm not sure where I'm going with that one, but yeah, anyhow.
A lack of innovation.
Yeah,
and drive, like you said before.
Yeah. Because back then it was you got every sports game that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as much as it was in early 2000s.
No, I see more of the basketball game kind of taking over a little bit, and the hockey game kind of taking over because people just don't care about playing.
The hockey does not have exclusive rights. Neither does NBA.
No, I'm just speaking in general terms.
It's just one company has just done everything with it, seemingly.
What they should have done, I've mentioned this many times, to avoid franchise fatigue, these games should stop.
Ooh, franchise fatigue.
They should stop labeling themselves yearly. I understand they'd make less money, but you'd see bigger jumps in the innovation between titles if they were to come out every 3 years, but every year you release a $20 map pack that was basically updated rosters, a couple of new tweaks and what have yous, and that'd be it. But you'd use the same game for 2 or 3 years.
That kind of seems like a free to play format, if you ask me.
Not at all.
I'm just messing. I'm just messing with you,
Okay.
sir. Calm down.
I forgot where I was going now.
You were saying every couple of years release a new version of the
make
game.
you pay for a little bit of a tweak or something,
Yeah, you don't pay your full $60. I think the game, if it came out every 3 years or so, would sell significantly better. I'd even buy them because, like, I occasionally play. I left the Madden franchise a long time ago
Yeah,
because
me too.
it's almost like the game is worthless as soon as you buy it, because within months they're already talking of the new one. I don't know.
There's also the option of just having 2 different teams to do it, like switch off every year, like how Call of Duty started. Have
Infinity Ward and
yeah, kind of do it like that. Where I mean, they're still all working for EA, but it works out where it's a team has a 2-year development cycle instead of a few months.
Yeah. Well, what they could also do is alternate sports so that the physical studio stays busy. Like this year's Madden, next year's NHL, the year after that's NBA. Then you go back to Madden, and
that one wouldn't work just because you're missing out a lot of the passion that goes into, because people specifically go for the NHLs. I've watched many videos on the EA hockey team. They're so passionate about it. That's why it helps them out so much. Then if you go over to a sport you don't really care about, for me it's NBA. I wouldn't care as much as a developer.
Well, see, you
I did a platformer I didn't really care about. I definitely slacked on it.
But see, what you're missing, you personally can still be on the NHL team, okay? You don't have to focus your energy on NBA now. If you're on the NHL team, your game's only coming out every 3 years. You still need a team to do updates, to work on the roster updates, the map packs for $20.
Oh, like cycle the games every
That's
year.
all I'm saying.
Get it. Okay, I get what you mean then, yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting, but, again, I never see it happening.
They would never do it because they're
Yeah.
going to make significantly less money. I'm just saying people wouldn't get sick
yeah.
of it if the game only... You'd see a huge graphical jump every 3 years then. You'd see major innovations. You'd see different gameplay, different styling, as opposed to these different little tweaks that are just like, oh, look, you could see a few more holes on their jerseys this year. And that's like the whole thing that came out. And you're paying $60 for that. I don't know. I'm good on this. Fuck it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Everybody good? All right.
Well, I
this
think,
has been...
before we wrap it up, we have to give our shout out for the 8-bit, and then we got to do our plugs really quick because we didn't plug our own shit this week.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so the shout out of the week for naming the 8-bit song last week, which was it was 8-bit Batman. That goes out to Austin on Facebook.
Nice.
And then we got our plugs. Or we're gonna do that again this week. So send it in. First person to respond on any of our stuff, you get a shout out.
Yep.
You could always send us your emails. You can
forward compatible podcast at Gmail. Is that where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Our Twitter,
That's at
FC Compatible.
yes,
Our Facebook page,
for compatible podcast on the Facebooks.
and then our personal website.
forcompatible.org.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can reach us on any of those, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Well,
We're-
in the YouTubes, I always read the
Oh,
YouTubes.
damn.
Oh yeah,
Damn
me
I
too.
try to get like a day or two
YouTube's the
after.
main
and
one.
Damn it, we forgot the YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's a good one because I'm always on that one.
Yeah, we do read everything on every media outlet, so feel free to contact us on whatever's more comfortable for you.
But if you want me to read them, Facebook or the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm the one who's on Twitter.
Yeah, and I'm a better person, so.
Yeah.
Tony doesn't know how to open emails.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't do stuff.
Yeah, Tony's just.
I
yeah.
just come here and look pretty.
And sometimes he doesn't even come with pants on.
Right?
You think he's supposed to look pretty that way?
I don't care, man. It's hot out. Whatever.
All right.
It's not triple
All right.
digits anymore.
Bring us
This,
home, sir.
this has been episode 24. Please tune in next week, same time, same place.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.